Destiny swap, JFK Jr. and Aaliyah. This was a swap, a ritual, a theft of destiny. Because when you won't bow to the system, they clip your wings. JFK Jr. was considered the people's prince, groomed by legacy, charisma, and a righteous swagger with good looks. He was going to walk right into the New York Senate and then the White House to become president of America, and a true heir to what they call America's Camelot. Aaliyah was poised to transcend R&B and become a cultural empress that would have outshined anything Beyonce would have done in her career. Aaliyah was a graceful powerhouse with mass appeal, mystery, and femininity. But instead of rising, these two fell from the sky. Their destinies were not lost, they were intercepted. Airborne assassinations, the cases that deserve a reopening. We've been told these were accidents, pilot error, bad weather, mechanical failure. That's the script. That's always the script. But here's the truth. Some plane crashes are not tragic coincidences. Some are calculated eliminations, timed to the minute, with too many anomalies to ignore. JFK Jr. was about to announce a Senate run in New York, a seat that Hillary Clinton had her eye on. Within hours of his suspected announcement, he disappears. The wreckage is mysteriously delayed. The black box was never recovered. And the media already had their headlines printed before the Coast Guard even found his body, along with his wife and his sister-in-law. Aaliyah, only 22, was reportedly carried onto that plane, asleep or unconscious against her wishes, and now we are hearing that she was drugged. The pilot unlicensed, the load over capacity, the timeline tight, suspicious, and controlled. Why would the industry risk its rising star unless her star was about to outshine the sun that they had already chosen? They weren't just beloved public figures. They were symbols of sovereign power. JFK Jr. with political lineage that could not be bought. Aaliyah with a divine appeal that transcended genre and race. Both were about to take flight in more ways than one, and both were grounded forever. It's time to demand the obvious. The cases must be reopened. With today's technology, satellite tracking, whistleblower testimonies, and forensic independence, the truth can still be found. But only if we, the people, refuse to let these deaths stay buried in accident folders. When President Trump says JFK Jr. was his friend, that's not just a throwaway line, that's a breadcrumb, a reminder of the Camelot torch being passed off camera. John wasn't just royalty in name, he had the people, the legacy, and the vision. He had a direct line to truth tellers, old guard patriots, and Trump himself. Now ask yourself, why would someone with that much favor suddenly vanish beneath the waves? Because he wasn't meant to serve this system. He was meant to dismantle it. And just think, beneath the waves or behind the scenes.
Well, Trump, on this rather historic night, the announcement of a presidential exploratory committee, this letter that you got from JFK, August 19th, July 19th, 99. Your father passed away when,
right.
in July?
JFK Jr., that's exactly correct. He just, I mean, it must have been one of the last things he did. He was a great guy. He was a friend of mine.
Dear Donald, I read over the weekend of your father's passing, and I just wanted to drop you a note. No matter where you are in life, losing a parent changes you. I know you had an active relationship, and I hope you'll get ample time to reflect. He sounds like a fascinating man from what I read in the Times. I like that he would go over his various work sites and pick up stray nails and returned them. And clearly, he never lost his perspective. My condolences to you and your family. Sincerely, John Kennedy.
This was a tragedy that he died because he had so much going. He was a fabulous guy. I mean, he was really, truly a handsome, wonderful, great, bright guy.
Is that line correct? No matter where you are in life, losing a parent changes you.
Oh, it's tough. It's tough. My father was...
Speaking of his father, just take a look at this photo of a young Bill Clinton with President John F. Kennedy. And who just happened to ascend the Senate seat JFK Jr. was eyeing? None other than girl boss supreme Hillary Rodham Clinton. No prior ties to New York, no organic roots whatsoever, just a very conveniently timed plane crash and a red carpet rolled out by the shadow government cabal. The same woman who is tied to Benghazi, Haiti, Epstein, and even probably Diddler, and more hush-hush files than we will ever know. They don't campaign for power. They inherit it through shadow games. That Senate seat was a throne, and to claim it, they had to remove a rightful heir. Now let's check out a little snippet of a video that President Trump dropped on Truth Social this weekend at the brunch hour. Things are getting very, very interesting, and I know that word is overused.
Kennedy Jr., he was declared the front-runner for the New York Senate seat back in 1999. Days later, his plane crashed into the Atlantic Ocean, and his rival, Hillary Clinton, was elected senator.
Oh my. Okay, I wanted to just quickly cover a little bit of the article from 2016 New York Post. Okay, this is written by Keith Kelly, where he says JFK Jr. predicted Trump's run for president 20 years ago. So Michael Berman, who was Kennedy's one-time partner on the launch of George. That was his political pop culture magazine. So he recalled these comments in which Kennedy, back in 1996, flew a select group of advisors to Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate after an industry conference in Florida. Trump was in attendance at the smaller gathering. As frequently happened to Kennedy at his events, talk soon turned to whether he could envision himself running for president. Trying to deflect the presidential chatter, Kennedy noted that the Trump estate was far more glamorous than a Kennedy family compound a few miles away. He says, quote, "I think you should be asking those questions of Donald," Kennedy said. He'd clearly have the most extravagant winter White House. Kennedy was 35 years old at the time of this article. Now, for the Aaliyah assassination, this is a cold case they've kept cold on purpose, but needs to be reopened and investigated. Because before Beyonce took the crown, Aaliyah was the chosen one. Not by the industry so much. I think that she didn't go along with maybe a lot of the stuff they wanted her to do. She was on board with some things that I didn't like to see, the darkness that started started to set in. As you can see her with these snakes, it was very symbolic of her being surrounded by serpents and vipers. Also, the movie Queen of the Dam really left me a little rattled that she was going into a dark place. Now, these vipers she was surrounded by were in shiny suits, of course. They smiled with her on red carpets while they plotted her expiration date in back rooms. Now we are talking Diddy, Jay-Z, and R. Kelly. These are the foot soldiers of the cabal's Black Boule proxy, tied to the Clinton Foundation dealings, island parties, and every wicked thing whispered in truth seeker circles. Let's talk about the day she died. Reports say Aaliyah didn't want to board the plane. She was given a sleeping pill, allegedly, and carried onto the plane unconscious. Too many bodies, too much weight, too rushed. And just like that, she was removed from the world stage. And they called it pilot error. But the error wasn't in the air, it was on the ground with the handlers who kept her trapped and the machine that cashed in on her. The same machine that's now being exposed at the Diddy trial. Maybe, just maybe, as these modern gods fall in court, the cold cases will thaw. And the real record will play. Aaliyah didn't fall, she was pushed. And if you think Aaliyah's story stops here, just wait, because there's another royal truth buried under years of headlines. JFK Jr. and Princess Diana had a secret meeting before they both exited the stage. I'll show you what really connected them and why their light had to be snuffed out before it reached critical mass. That drop is coming soon. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you soon on a live stream. And of course, I'll continue doing these uploads and short reels as well. Thanks for all of your support and well wishes and encouragement. Take care.